It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Cutting the cord and watching your subscriptions.
Do you want to pick? Well, we won't pick on him. We can pick on him later.
Yeah, by the way, cutting the cord, I told Daniel when we were doing pre-show meeting, we needed a coaxial cable in the picture, not a Cat 5 cable.
You don't cut the internet cord. That's the wrong one.
He said this is what he had to work with, so we went with it. We love FTE, Daniel. And look, here's a stat that kind of shocked me a little bit, is they have done research, and as of 2019, traditional pay TV providers dropped 6 million customers last year. That's a 7% decline year over year. I got to tell you, with this whole stay-at-home order, I bet that number's accelerated. I think there are a lot of people right now who are questioning when they're trying to figure out where are there a few extra dollars I can put in my back pocket. One of the first things they're looking at is how are they doing their content? How are they doing TV? How are they doing local channels? This is one of the first places. I mean, whenever I've gotten in financial, like think about when I went through 2008, I cut the landscapers, I cut my cable bill, I looked at all my cell phone bills. These are the type of mindset things we want you to think about. And there's money here, guys. I cut the cord. I went to YouTube TV probably 2 years ago. And this is the perfect time to do it, guys, because thinking about the timing, a lot of you guys don't want to leave because you might have a DVR full of shows. Guess what? We're hitting the summer months. There's no new shows out there, so you can go watch your DVR, clear it out, and then quickly switch over to a new provider and save some bucks.
So I know, like a lot of folks, they hear this like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to cut the cord, and this is going to be great. So I'm going to get rid of my cable, and then I'm going to go get my YouTube TV, then I'm going to get my Sling, then I'm going to get my Netflix, then I'm going to get my Disney Plus, then I'm going to get my Hulu. You do have to keep an eye on your all-in cost. You have to be aware that just because you're cutting one cost doesn't mean you need to immediately replace it with 6 other costs that end up being more expensive than what you originally had.
I do think that there's a new trend. Subscription costs have gotten to the point where you can worry about stacking too many things. My wife, Apple. Apple has some new shows. There's some Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon type thing.
It's like news reporters.
We're not watching it because I told my wife I have limits to how many subscriptions we're going to have in our household. And I think everybody needs to be mindful because, look, you're not getting rid of your internet. We picked on Daniel about that picture, and we know that the average household pays about $65 a month for high-speed internet. So that's kind of a sunk cost. And you got to be careful when you're cutting cable. You might lose some of those bundle benefits. So you need to pay attention to that as you're making these decisions as well. But it's not uncommon that you see just your cable bill, not internet, break $100 a month, especially when you think about it, because these old school business models, like I think about, I have an upstairs TV, never use it, but it had a separate box on it. They were charging me $5 a month for that separate box. They were charging me, now they probably have dropped this because it's been 2 years. They were charging me for HD fees or high definition service. You're like, what are you guys doing?
Is there standard definition?
We are in 2020. Nobody is paying, but it was like that. And what I like about some of these newer formats like YouTube TV, they don't care how many TVs you have in your house. It's more of how many people can be on at one time. And by the way, a lot of these options now have DVR opportunities too. So if you're worried about you're going to not be able to be there or you're not going to have your local TVs channels, they're all there now. So I agree with Bo. Watch the stacking of subscriptions. But if you were looking at this from the raw ability to replace cable TV, you could potentially drop your $100 cable bill down to, realistically, because YouTube TV is now about $49.99 a month, you could save somewhere between, we just used in our assumption, $40 a month.
And I think what we had found was that the average American, and these are actually statistics, spends about $90 a month on cable.
I was using my numbers. See,
is that yours?
No, 90 is the average. I'm just saying when I'm throwing out 100, I just know I'm getting dinged. I was getting dinged by all the different boxes, the DVR fees. I just got tired of it. And try to cancel your cable service, by the way, or your satellite service. They will send you to 4 different people to try to retain the business. And meanwhile, you can cancel YouTube TV right through the website. I loved how portable the whole process was.
I'll be honest. I tried to. So when you first cut the cord, I don't know, it was like 3-4 years ago maybe. I tried to call and cut the cord, and my cable company kept offering me such a good deal. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll just keep it. Well, okay. The only reason I finally ended up cutting the cord is because I moved houses and to cancel my service anyways. But what we found is average American spends $90 per month on cable and about $23 a month on streaming services, right? And odds are you're probably not going to get rid of streaming services. You're probably still going to use it. Like, just because you go to YouTube TV, you probably didn't axe Netflix, right?
No, but I'm kind of, but I'm thinking about if I was a person who was maybe this pandemic, I lost a job,
sure,
or money's tight, I probably would cut subscription services if I was, so if I was trying to figure out what are the savings,
sure,
I do think there's probably $40 to $45 a month you could save by cutting the cord and still having your access to your sporting events whenever they come back, as well as local TV. So I mean that's. If you were looking on the brick scoreboard, as we're kind of calling it, using the Will Smith quote, is that you could save close to $500 a year just by getting creative with how you're watching content on the internet.
So for those of you that are kind of keeping score, I don't know if you know, these bricks are starting to kind of turn into something a little bit. Stay tuned because it gets even more exciting.